You'll see this very familiar to what you would have seen in the Troop in the Colour in London for His Majesty's birthday parade, where the Regimental Sergeant Major, the senior soldier, will come forward and collect the colour, in the case of the Troop in the Colour, but in this case, the banner. The Sovereign's banner is collected by the Academy Sergeant Major. Once he receives it, he will about turn and hand over to the ensign, which will troop the banner throughout the parade. A present arms is given and the salute is conducted. The sword is then put away into the scabbard. The Academy Sergeant Major will hand over the banner and it'll be placed into the colour belt. The ensign makes her way back to the centre and the front of the Sovereign's platoon, whilst the Academy Sergeant Major guidingly moves to the rear. And then you can see the escorts now disappearing out of sight. And the Sovereign's platoon now step off in slow time to troop the banner through the parade.
So we've heard a lot about the Sovereign's Banner and the platoon. They are the winners of the Sovereign's Banner competition. This is a collation of points for platoon scores across a number of military, academic and physical events throughout the commissioning course terms. The aim of the competition is threefold: to establish the champion platoon in the senior term, to instill healthy rivalry between platoons of the same intake, and to promote individual and collective incentives to achieve the highest standards of training, interest, enthusiasm and team spirit. Commissioning course 233 winner was 30 platoon from Borneo Company.
And a tremendous achievement. Clearly they're going to be going forward to getting the banner because they've won the competition, and detriment to the Colour Sergeant. So Colour Sergeant Amenitive Tavago from the Scots, he joined the Army in March 2008. He's been successfully selected by the Commonwealth recruiting team in Fiji, and he is posted here as a Colour Sergeant in the Academy. He is also the first Fijian instructor in Sandhurst to be successful on Carter 22. He has also deployed on numerous operations and exercise throughout his Army career, and immensely proud of 30 Platoon's achievements and honoured to be part of this day, as his family is also.
And of course, we shouldn't forget the platoon commander of the Sovereign's platoon, and that is Captain T.J. Eddy of the United States of America.
So what you've just seen then is the Sovereign's platoon advance in slow time. They've completed a ceremonial right turn and then 3 left turns. They're now heading on the inspection line. The band is cut out for the remainder of the senior term to present arms, and you can see the swords are lowered as they then troop the banner through the platoons. And again, you would have seen this in London during the Troop in the Colour, or His Majesty's birthday parade, where the colours gets trooped in front of the troops. And this goes to a long tradition back in battle, where it's an opportunity for all soldiers and officers to identify the colour prior to battle. Clearly, it's a rallying point at the end of battle, so when the chaos and the end of the war has happened, they are the rallying points. That is your signal to go to once they complete. They will continue to make their way through the senior term, trooping that banner, and you'll see right at the end then they'll form back onto the line where they were originally, but this time with the Sovereign's banner, ready to march around the square in slow and quick time.
Sandhurst, slow, out.
The banner now has been trooped through the ranks. This is the stage now where we are ready to march around in slow and quick time. You'll see the whole parade move to the right once they've closed order march, which they've done so now, and then they'll lead off in slow time.
In slow and quick time. Divisions into column. By the right. Right wheel. Slow. March.
So you'll see the officer cadets at the far end. At the moment, they're in divisions into column, so that's literally the half company split into two, one behind each other. Once they've completed that final turn-in, there'll be divisions into line, and you'll have seen this on the Troop in the Colour, where the extended line of troops will pass the dais. And the idea is to get the straightest lines as you go past, so they're all dressed and covered off. But as you can see, front and centre is the Academy Adjutant. Over to you, Kirsty.
Thanks, Carl. The Academy Adjutant is riding the beautiful chestnut horse, Jumping Jack. He's a 17-1 gelding Irish sports horse. This is Jumping Jack's first Sovereigns Parade as the centre horse. He is the Major General London District's military working horse when located in Hyde Park Barracks. And he's taken to his training here very well, making him a good choice for the Sovereigns Parade. He looks steady and calm currently on this parade.
You can see the junior under officer on the left-hand side as mouths open, giving the words of command. So what they'll start to do as soon as they get forward, they'll be in open order, and you'll see the rear rank of each detachment or each half company take a pace to the rear, just to open that gap so that they're in open order. The adjutant is doing what's called the flourish with the swords, and when you see the junior officer give the word of command, those 3 junior officers will also give a flourish, and this is always conducted in slow time. You would have seen the salute then from Borneo Company's Company Sir Major. So he is literally behind the Sovereigns platoon and also the rest of his company. He's W2 Dean Jones from the Grenadier Guards. He was given an MVO, which for those of you not aware is the Member of the Victorian Order Medal, for his role in the late Her Majesty Queen's funeral, and he also attended the King's coronation. He is here as a Company Sir Major for Borneo Company.
So just as we watch the officer cadets on the parade square, thought it was time for a little bit of history. the original Royal Military Academy was established in Woolwich in 1741 to train officers for the artillery and engineers. A similar institution was founded for training cavalry and infantry officers in 1802 at High Wycombe, named the Royal Military College, which subsequently moved into a new and purpose-built facility at Sandhurst in 1812. The Royal Military Academy and the Royal Military College merged after the Second World War to form the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. The first commissioning parade of the new Royal Military Academy Sandhurst was held on the 14th of July 1948 in the presence of His Majesty King George VI, who decreed henceforth that the parade was to be known as the Sovereign's Parade.
You can see the Academy Adjutant front centre or smack in the middle of the parade, keeping an eye on the frontage of the parade, so the leading platoon, which is the Sovereign's platoon, but also casting an eye at the rear. Now what he's waiting for is everyone to finish what's called Chaos Corner. This is where the half companies move from, as you can see, into line, into then column, which is a difficult manoeuvre, and it's often lots of screaming and shouting by the NCOs and the junior under officers to get people into line. But once that's completed and the final half company have finished this corner that you're looking at now, they will change arms. What you'll hear then is the band will cut out completely, and then the Academy Adjutant will give the word of command to break into quick time. And then this gives a chance for everyone on parade to move into quick time, and you'll see the arms swinging as they speed up the pace during the second half of the parade. And Captain Sunil Garung, Director of Music at the front, just waving his wand there, waiting for that right word of command where he can cut the band out, a really essential part, because people can get out of step if it's not done correctly. That's the warning done. And executed perfectly with the band kicking in into quick time. Starting off with this particular bit of music is called Arnhem by Kelly.
Carl has mentioned a number of the permanent staff who are on parade with the Officer Cadets today, but there are many that support the Officer Cadets journey. I'm sure that the Officer Cadets would like to thank them for all their hard work, diligence and patience in coaching and preparing them so thoroughly for the challenges that they will face, and for getting them ready for this momentous parade. The permanent staff represent the best instructors from across the British Army, all of whom have been individually selected to develop leaders. At the end of this term, a number of them will leave the academy to return to the field army or onto operations. We wish them, and I'm sure the Officer Cadets will agree, that they are exemplars of the motto, serve to lead. Of particular note, we would like to say a huge thank you to Lieutenant Colonel Hugh Evans, who was responsible for the planning and delivery of the Sovereign's Day. It's not just about the parade. The Officer Cadets have enjoyed a chapel service prior to the parade and will sit down for lunch with their guests with circa 2,500 attendees. A special thanks goes to you, Colonel, for all your endeavours. We are saying farewell to a number of staff today, too many to mention, but it would be wrong of me not to thank them all for all they have done. Their successors have big boots to fill.
And you've noticed that now in quick time, the parade seems to be going on a little bit quicker. As they pass the dais this time, you'll notice that last time during the slow march, they would have done the flourish with the swords. This time it's just head and eyes over to the right, paying the compliments as they're in quick time with their arms swinging. Academy Sergeant Major just passing there with the colours in front and the escorts in the rear, keeping a close eye on the rest of the parade. He will, straight after this parade, he'll be looking at improvements and suggestions ready for the next parade. Always high attention to detail and accuracy during parades and quite prestigious events like this, which is open to viewers all over the world.
And there have been many hours of practice, and on Wednesday the cadets did a full run-through for the Commandant's Parade. In General Stenning's speech, he recognised that those joining the British Army today are joining a fast modernising organisation. The Royal Military Academy Sandhurst is no exception, and with the new commissioning course being rolled out under Project Adair, our officers will be ready to face the excitement, challenge and adventure that faces them. General Stenning spoke about the importance of being brave and taking calculated risk while embracing professional curiosity, and finished up by emphasising that it is a privilege to serve to lead, and we should do so with good judgment, balance and humility.
With the slow time and the quick time now being conducted, you'll notice that the troops at the rear, certainly the senior term that have led, will now wheel onto the senior division line, as will the inters and juniors wheel onto their lines, to the exact position where they were when they first come on parade. So they're back into the original positions, ready for the next part of the parade, and that would have completed the slow and quick march past.
And just coming into view is the new college adjutant, Captain Ed Harmer, riding the beautiful Sovereign Shadow. He might look quite familiar to you, as he has been the centre horse on a number of occasions. Shadow is now a permanent fixture with us at the Royal Military Academy Brunei Stables, and he led the procession for Trooping the Colour this year under the guidance of the Brigade Major London District.
And just in the shot of the screen there, casting an eye at the rear of the parade, is Old College Regimental Sergeant Major. You would have heard him at the start dressing the parade, but at this stage now he's making sure everyone's in position at the rear. A slightly harder job because the cadets that he's looking after and the staff has only been there for the one term, and they're carrying rifles, so an extra bit of complexity to the parade. He joined the army though in November 2002 and was trained through the Parachute Regiment, or the Parachute Depot, in ITC Catterick. He's been on operations all over the world: Iraq, Afghanistan, Falklands and Europe, and he has been recently awarded the Brigade Commander's Commendations early on in his career, and more recently a US Bronze Star Medal for his time deployed in NATO operations. His first parade is Old College Major. He'll be proud to be on parade today, and is watched by his wife Louise and two children, Gracie and Inley. Right at the rear of the parade, you can see that junior term, the junior division, now making their way. And once they've halted, and they would have formed, done a left form at the halt this time, they'll be in position to advance forward in review order. So what you'll see is the Academy Adjutant come forward and dress the remainder of the parade. You'll hear the Academy Sergeant Major's eyes front at the rear, and then you'll have a review in review open order, followed by advance in review order. And this will take place over 13 and 14 places before they halt altogether. So you'll see the whole parade come forward 14, 15 paces.
Sandhurst will advance in review order. By the centre, quick march! Sandhurst, shoulder out! Stand at ease. Stand easy.
And at this stage now, that's the end of the marching phase as such. We now move over to listening to the Sovereign's representative speech.
Commandants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and especially all of you on parade, good morning. I am delighted to be here and to share in your special day. I've had the privilege to attend many passing out parades at Dartmouth, but this is my first time at a Sandhurst Sovereigns Parade. It is a huge honour. And for any of you nervous on parade today, please relax and enjoy the occasion. I hesitate in telling you this, but my nickname going through Dartmouth was TikTok Radican. Marching has never been a strong point. Now, if your Academy Sergeant Major hasn't collapsed at that revelation, I'd like to offer my thanks to the band of the Brigade of Gurkhas for their music, which adds so much to the richness of this occasion. I'm going to talk about three things. Firstly, about all of you here today and what you have achieved. Secondly, about the army that you're in. And finally, a few words about leadership. First, about you. Most of you arrived at Sandhurst as civilians, but over the past few months you have mastered the basics of soldiering. You have pushed yourselves further than you might have thought possible, in the classroom, on the parade ground, and in the field. And now you stand ready, ready to wear the King's uniform, ready to lead our army into the future, ready to serve your country come what may. It's quite the transformation, but it is not the end of the process. It is just the beginning. You will never stop learning and developing throughout your career. Even CGS and I still have plenty of things left to learn. But I can tell you this, Sandhurst has given you the best possible foundation. And one day when the going gets tough, you'll think back to the things you were taught here, and you'll be grateful that you were made to do it over and over again until you got it right. So on your behalf, I would like to thank the instructors and support staff at the Royal Military Academy for their work to prepare you for this journey. There is another group of people who have been and will continue to be with you every step of the way, your families and friends. And it's wonderful to see so many here today. In truth, life in the British Army won't always appear quite so smart as it does right now. Separation and uncertainty are part of service life. Danger and risk come with the uniform. We're grateful to our loved ones for their support and understanding today and in the years ahead. So what about the world beyond the parade ground? Each of the services is very special, but it is the Army, most of all, that embodies the values and standards of the armed forces in the minds of the British public. You are joining the Army of Marlborough, Wellington and Montgomery. All that wonderful heritage and tradition now belongs to you. But the Army is not a historical artefact. Your task is to take the best of its ethos and apply it to the world as it is today. A more dangerous world, a more contested world, a world where our adversaries are seeking to challenge and undermine the rules that govern global security and to bend them to their own authoritarian ends. The imperative is to learn from our brave friends in Ukraine and modernise the army to become a more lethal, more agile fighting force. To harness our country's extraordinary network of allies to create a British army that puts NATO first and is first in NATO. An army that is active and engaged in Europe and wherever in the world British interests are at stake. In the coming months, you may find yourself serving in the jungles of Belize, or the mountains of Nepal, or the deserts of Oman. You may be behind the wheel of an armoured vehicle, or controlling a drone which fits in the palm of your hand. And in the not too distant future, you will find yourself serving in an army which has been wholly transformed. An army equipped with hypersonic missiles and battalions of drones. An army capable of striking not just at the next trench or over the next hill, but across thousands of miles. It will fall to you, as officers and as leaders, to harness these different capabilities and opportunities for national and global good. But you're not alone in that task. Officers from 22 countries are on parade and commissioning today. To each of them, I say congratulations, but also thank you, because the bonds of friendship that you have forged here at Sandhurst will serve all our nations throughout your careers. Together, you are the best educated, best trained generation of military officers yet, more open to new ideas, more inclusive of different perspectives, with the instincts for this data-driven age, and you may already have ideas for how things could be done better. And now you have the chance to make that happen. Because the army you join is yours to shape. And if this task appears daunting and the world seems too complex, just remember the basics of soldiering and of leading and of public service which do not change. The success of the British Army and of our partner armies rests on the same time-honoured values that have guided us through the ages. Courage, discipline, respect, integrity, loyalty, and selfless commitment. And your job is very special: to serve, to lead. That is the motto of Sandhurst, and now it is your mantra in life. It's a deeply human role. It's about people. Be polite, be courteous, be clear and consistent, be fair and firm. Listen to your NCOs, learn from them. Most of all, look after your people and they will look after you. So let me end with a final word of thanks. Thank you to you. There is no greater commitment than to serve your country and to lead others to do the same. Congratulations for what you have achieved and for what you will achieve. You have made your families proud today, and you will have every opportunity to make your country proud in the years to come. Thank you.
With the speeches now complete, we get into a position where the prize winners are getting forward to receive their prizes.
The awards for commissioning course 233. The International Award. Presented by the State of Qatar. The International Award is awarded to the International Officer Cadet who has achieved the best overall results in military